our guild groups, and I just want to talk about our intention that we have in this space. So I'm Arian. I grew up in Arizona. I've been in Sedona for a year. I'm a professor of psychology, and then I started researching my own consciousness, and it led to a spiritual awakening, and now I live in Sedona. Yay! So I really care about the new earth, and I want to actually do things. I'm so glad that we're here. Yes, the time is right for us to do the grounding, and I think every single person here has a completely unique perspective, which brings us to our guilds and our intentions. So, our intention here is to create a completely respectful, safe, protected, loving space. We are all figuring this out together, and whatever comes out of this is positive. Our true intention is the relations that we have between each other. That is the real connection. Yes, we got our bodies, our connections to each other. So, just an idea for each guild group is to do like an inhale and an exhale. The inhale is like soaking in what we've already talked about, soaking in the new ideas. The exhale is outcomes. So each guild group has a little intention paper with some outcomes for all of us. That's right. That include like basic vision, like just some one-liners. What's your deal? Some action plans. Who are your leaders? How are you going to communicate going forward? And this is also important. What each group also has that we talked about, just like in the vision space, is the continuing inspiration. So something we want to invite is for inspiration to continue to come in and flow. And so we want to allow that. Mm-hmm. Yes. So I'm here. Thank you for being here. And yeah, we're going to get started and turn over to Lion Eisner. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Arian. Thank you. Okay, so just a couple last things before we start breaking into different zones where these guild tables will be set out around here. I just wanted to get a quick check because, well, something important for the sacred media, which Susie's a part of and others here, is to be in deep consent when we do any sort of film of any kind in these spaces, and the intention behind it. You know, and Susie, maybe I'll give you a chance to share the intention behind the reason why we do documentation in these spaces, if you feel up to it.
Yeah. Well, on one level, whatever we're creating has already happened, and we want to document the process of creation, really from the emergent stage. And that's one. Two is also to not only document it for ourselves and for posterity's sake, but also to share with global community through social media, both in terms of attracting some of the resources and needs that each of the guilds will be identifying, because the media is here to serve all of the guilds in that way. Also to invite in all the other resources, talents, all the other people who may be out there not knowing that they have the same impulse we do, and to be aware of that through our actual process, and the publication of that will help to just accelerate what we're here to manifest and grow.
It's beautifully said and spoken, and also want to invite, if anyone wants to raise their hand, if they feel out of, not in consent with being part of something that gets published, we'll make sure to edit that out and respect that boundary, because all of this community and container in every way will always respect consent and boundaries. So if there's anyone, is there anyone here that would rather not be? Okay.
I just have a question. Where would
yeah.
they be published?
Yeah, so these will be published most likely. I think we're thinking like they may be on YouTube, Instagram, because a lot of the community seems to use that, and there's a possibility of Facebook. But if there's something, we don't like Facebook. Nobody here likes Facebook or Instagram, and yet we're trying to learn how to leverage what is currently, how do we draw energy from these places toward what we're calling in, as a sort of interim solution to reaching the people, to bring them to the better platforms. I think one of the biggest focuses here with the Sacred Media team and Guild is that we find a better solution, because right now we don't have one with adoption from this whole soul fam around the world and in Sedona and Seattle. So that is one of the problems we're solving. We're gonna vet and find the best ones and that meet the ethical standards that we really are calling in this soul family. And in the interim, if we can use more than we are being disrespected or used by these other platforms in that interim transition to bring us to the
And I just want to offer up, just like money, it's like social media is as social media does, and to the extent that we have this opportunity to infiltrate, you want to call it that, and inject and infuse our higher consciousness, our love, our vision for what this world can be, and have it out there through some channels that a lot of people are plugged into, then it can serve a valuable purpose, even if it's not our end game.
Yeah. It can create a shift even with those that are outside of this sweet bubble that is here. I mean, honestly, like coming from even Seattle, like what y'all have in Sedona is like nothing short of just a miracle, extraordinary miracle. This kind of gathering space, what we're doing right here, is not happening without masks and everything else everywhere else. So this is a stronghold that's very sacred, and I think in an era where what everyone else is seeing is not this. This is also touching people through things like social media, and if we guide prayer and energy into that to spread that light through even these containers like Instagram or Facebook, we can bless that energy and call in all of our soul family that way. So there is a really powerful way we can use it. But I did want to be upfront and respect that some of you may not want to be, for any reason you might have, included in anything that's shared out. And we'll absolutely respect that. So if anyone you're welcome to raise your hand okay, thank you.
I don't mind my voice so much,
But visually, got you, completely respected.
This is a critical point where you can actually taste the concept I was speaking to you about opening your minds a little bit more, a little bit bigger and broader. So number one, security is going to become an issue. It's a matter of time for many, and it's a matter of time and place for some. There might be people who can't get involved now visually or orally or publicly, but need to be involved. And in the future, everyone will be hunted down as a rat. And you can choose to pretend that future is not coming, but it is the plan. So security is something all of you need to kind of get into your mind at some level. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the divine feminine, and I'm sorry to the divine masculine that hasn't stepped forth in its full power. Because thinking about security all the time is a negative, destructive thing, and I know it pains and depletes the divine feminine. Divine masculine, we need in this role to support that, recognize they have to run this negative energy, that it's going to deplete them, and you need to fill them, and you need to protect them, and you need to step forth to take more of it yourself, because it doesn't affect the same way. Number two, if I may, to jump on what was just discussed about the sacred communications. So conceptually, creating the intent for the sacred communications, there would be a mission statement of a sort, and that's a signpost mission statement. It could be many things, but it is articulated reality. So the mission statement of him of the sacred communications is not to only align with the best or the happiest or the most positively, vibrationally appropriate communications channel. The never-ending, changing mission of the sacred communications in this task is to constantly reflect, analyze, accept, and capture all of the communication assets that are available on the planet, from the light workers to the Facebook or whatever, and figure out how to capture and harness any and all of that to the mission of saving humanity.
Boom. That's it.
And what that looks like moment by moment will constantly change. You must not get stuck in I'm doing this, and we're going to build that. No, you're emerging this, and you're gardening your thing. You're gardening in your guild. This tree needs more water this year. Never needed it before. Give it more water this year. Don't make that a rule. Check it next year. So,
Thank you for sharing that.
and that
Yeah.
security. Maybe
Yeah.
open up every meeting like that before you
Yep.
start anything.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And also Telegram,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff down here.
And you
That's
will
right.
need to shift to a point soon, 30 days, 180 days, where your phone does not travel with you. I'm 63. There was one phone in our house and 5 kids. It worked. You can leave your phone at the house, and you'll definitely not want to be bringing it to your meetings.
That's right. Even when your phone is off the camera.
Because these are associations we all use in the Intel community. We use these associations. Even the cops use these associations, the low-level collectors.
May I?
Yeah. Yeah.
On that topic, there's a book about EDEC, EDEC, EDEC bags, and it's a Faraday cage.
Yeah.
There's ones for laptops. It's what the law enforcement they use if someone they need, they capture someone, they put stuff inside these bags so nothing they can't swipe or delete information.
Do you
off
want this
their
information?
phone because it's in an EDEC
Should we
bag.
wrap it up?
And so they've got ones that are in pouches that you can see through. I have ones.
Thank you.
So
Can you?
go.
We'll come talk to you. I feel like this topic. Do you guys agree? We'll go like. We could go
We could
a
go-
while on
yeah.
security,
We're
but that was
so-
nice.
yeah,
We all need one of those. No,
Yeah.
don't be sorry. It was.
Make it a quick do out. Like before
Yeah.
you leave tonight, will you commit to getting the EDAC thing to the communicator so that the
Yeah, send us a link on the.
Yeah, that's a
Thank you.
great idea.
Don't be sorry.
Great
I just
idea.
was like, you can see where it could go.
This is a work in progress that
Yeah.
we're growing and learning
Yeah,
together and
exactly.
learning how to flow in communication that's effective and focused but still allowing. And there's a place for each topic. It just may not be right in that moment. So just not to take it personally if we have to reel it in. And there, you can always use our other communication channels for these things. I want to make just a quick practical announcement because we talked about the dinner stuff, and since we're so off schedule, how many people are going to be starving before 8 p.m.? Yay, our supplies have arrived. Okay, someone who can help
We can start
coordinate
setting up
that.
tables.
I can-
Guild-
Here.
Let me just finish one thought.
Take
The
this.
guild tables are set up. We're going to make a quick announcement about that. But what I wanted to say is with